Okay, so here's a trade summary of what happened. Basically, we saw a false breakout set up, and we saw it established at 58.18 was support, and then we saw a breakdown of about 20 pips and then a pushback. So it looked like a false breakout. We set an entry around 58.12 to go long, and it broke down. What I believe the reason is it was too far away from the previous support. It was in Asia that it was tested twice. Well, then it spiked way up to 59.24 area and then came slamming back down through. That was just a little burp as it passed through the train station headed south. I mean, it was too far away. If it would have happened, if that same setup would have been in the Asia session, it would have been more successful. So I believe the issue here was it was not a part of tight consolidation for an hour or so, did a false breakout, and then continued up. All right. So what I see is a possible variation of this. Look at the top. Look up at London, where it did 3 candles above the black line, and then a major red candle pushed. It burped to the midpoint and then plunged. So it's kind of an interesting variation there. It didn't do 1 candle up, 1 candle down. It did 2 candles up, 1 engulfing down, went back up about halfway and then dropped. So, that's another interesting pattern to watch for. But so anyway, this moved quickly and was blown out for a full loss. So lesson learned there. All right, thanks everybody. Let's stop talking and start trading. Get those demo accounts fired up and put this to practice. Follow these setups, look for them yourself, and let me know what you guys find. All right, see ya. Hi, this is Bill Tainter with OU Forex Trader. I'm watching a false breakout set up on the Great Britain US dollar. We have limits order. We have buy limits right here. Shows you. If I can get a hold of this pig and move it for you. Buy limits, there it is, sorry, buy limits, parked, 58.12? Let me double check that. Did I screw that up? No, I'm fine. So what I see is it's around, see how it's set up, support here at 58.20 area, and then do you see how it broke to 57.97.18? So there, I mean, there's 20 pips right here. You follow me? 98 to 18 is 20 pips. So it did a nice 20 pip break in 1 candle. Then from that 1 candle, it pushed all the way up. Look at it struggle here. And now it's gapping down. And let's see how this holds. It's going to pop us in another tick here. Price is 14. We're going to get in at 12, 13. And here's what I'm expecting it to come back down into this area, turn and roll back up. We're in long right now. We're long. So it is 8:30 in the morning Central on the 30th. So it's a pretty fair setup here. It held across. This is what I like. Is it held across Asia. The Euro open, it came down, but it didn't even get in this area, right? It held off pretty good. And then the US pushed it down. It broke, but it was immediately rejected. Okay, now if I go up to an hour, what do I see on the hour? On the hour, I see a break above. Let me magnify a little bit here. So what do I see? I see a break above this level, an immediate retest, a second retest, and now we're back at this level again. Okay, so should this, there should be some battles going on here, right? Let's go up to a 4 hour. So it seems pretty good too on a 4 hour. Look how it has some history of this level. Broke above, broke below, chop, broke, and then now it's back at this level. So I'm watching the 15-minute is a clear pattern based off of this green candle. And this works out pretty good, that it did lift up a little bit, and that's 20 pips right there. So we have 20, and we have, I think, up into this area. So let's see if we can get past, this area. So we need to get through where the sellers are, right? We're trying to go long, which to me should be this area if you look at it, right? So the sellers push down, it's going to do battle here, and it broke, came back up again. So this is the most recent big selling war zone, right? So let's see what happens. So it's immediately it's up 6 pips, which is, that's a good sign. What I like about this is a 15-minute, and on a 15-minute chart, what I love is you get paid faster. I'm kind of interested in fast trades. These long trades wear me out emotionally. I don't like them as much. I need to learn how to handle that. Let's see how this works. So here's what I did from the lesson the other day where I was trying to call entry. What I did is I just used the Fibonacci tool to pull from the support down to here, and 50% came in at 5807, and look what it did. It didn't quite get to 50. It came into that area, didn't it? I mean, it got down to 61%. So from 5818 down to 5796, halfway was 5807. So what I did is I added 5 pips onto there and came up with 5812. That's how I calculated it. So we are long at 5812. That's why I placed it there. Let's see, where's my little counter? Okay, we got about 9 minutes left on this candle. Alright, so it's down the last 5 minutes here. Let's see what this does. I think that we said the 50% area is around this 5807, 5805. So I added 5 pips for the spread, got in at 5812. Alright, so we're down the last 5 minutes, 7, 8 seconds here. And let's see if this pushes. Just trying to watch for any other. The 1 hour did a long push down. That's this whole hour down, which I like how it kind of gassed, right? You can imagine most indicators like a Bollinger Band or stochastics would be bottomed out right here because it's just pushing and pushing and pushing, right? And then it stops, which lines up with a support level, which lines up with a 15-minute reversal pattern of these railroad tracks, and it's a nice 20-pip plunge, and it pushed back almost exactly 20 pips, so that's good. So let's see what this holds out here. We're getting down to the last 4 minutes, and so we need this to repel back off of this area, or end small like this is fine because that's doing a big switch over. There's equal buyers and sellers. If it kind of can stall out here and behave, then the next candle should push. So let's see if we can hold off the sellers here. You see many variations of this where it'll do a big engulf and it immediately wick down, touch and go, or like this, it pushed, floated, and then in 2 candles came down and got us in, right? So there's a few different variations or floats here. So now we're down the last 3 minutes. I mean, I've seen this get all the way down within a couple of pips. It'll even touch even a couple pips below. I mean, it just gets into this area. And here's the hard part, right? You have to make a decision. You have to have, rules, and I go with the 50% area. There's a couple of different angles. Is as this starts to push down here, you could park orders and then follow it and follow it and follow it as it gets deeper and deeper, and then let it burp and fill. That is one approach. The other approach that I do is I just park my orders based off my rules, and I kind of like removing the emotion in the mechanics of that. I am working on some code where I can run some script and it'll move it down just a couple pips, move it a couple pips, move it a couple pips, and just tighten and squeeze this guy right down to the bottom. And then if it plunges, I just abort the trade. You know what I mean? So there's a couple ways to play it. Depending on the trading platform, we're in big trouble right now. Depending on what your trading platform is. I can't worry about this. My setup was solid. If we get stopped out, it didn't work. So I'm not sweating it. There's nothing I can do. I checked it. It looked fine. It broke 20 pips, repelled 20 pips, came back to midpoint. I set my limits and I'm in. If we get blown out, we get blown out. We just do it again the next time. If you read Joe's daily report for today, he sent out last night, he stated all of this. You have to have a trading plan. You have to be willing to pull the trigger if the setup is there. You have to be willing to accept a loss and understand all of those elements. And just suck it up and get back in the game, and understand that you don't win every single trade. But what I don't like to do, I don't like to put a buy stop below that if it breaks this level. It's just, you don't know. So we're in very, very tough shape right now. It's at 28 pips, 29, and we're blown out for a full loss. So it did what it did. And you just saw it live on Memorex. Why? No idea. Let's see. If we look at 30-minute, 30-minute does a doji, and it could have just as well gone down here and gone up. We don't know. The setup, that doesn't show me really much. The 1 hour, was there. It did a big wick, and I expect it to go halfway and pull. 4 hour, it's back at this level. It was a top, so now it's bottomed out at 57.79, right? So if we go back down here and look at so here's a level, right? So here's where we're at now, and it was held, and it was held, and it was held, and it was held, went up, and now we're back at that level. We may get a reversal pattern at this level. So it was a perfect setup, and it didn't hold through today. We had all the things in our favor, the highest probability. So now it's 8:45. So I'll check back and do a summary on that, okay? But that's the trade.